A man accused of following a 71-year-old woman home from a casino and then attacking her with a tire iron has been.
Denver cab driver was shot to death on the job, and now police have made an arrest
that Denver police had identified and who they were looking for in connection with the cabbie murder. The suspect was arrested on an unrelated warrant in Denver last Thursday. Darren Bloomquist was found shot dead in his cab on September 5th. He was picking up a fare in the Green Valley Ranch neighborhood of Denver. Police said today they are now holding the teenager.
Heartbroken to learn the man who killed their loved one will soon get out of prison.
A judge sentenced Edward Ramsey to life in prison without parole back in 1991 for a double murder, but he will soon get out of jail.
My nephew grew up without a father because of Eddie Ramsey.
36-year-old Mark Weibel, along with his boss, were murdered at their Kansas City auto shop in 1989. Edward Ramsey pulled the trigger.
Police say he shot Anthony McIntyre Sunday at his home on East St. Catherine Street. It's a few doors down from where Boyington and his now ex-girlfriend live.
A teenager arrested in connection with a deadly home invasion in Lincolnville is denied bond for a murder charge today. 18-year-old Joseph Brown is charged with the murder of 46-year-old Johnny Pritchard Sr. Charleston County deputies say Brown walked into Pritchard's home armed with a handgun last month. They say Brown demanded money, shot Pritchard, then ran away.
He has been charged in connection to the death of a cab driver in the Central West End. 19-year-old Jerry Reese is charged with first-degree murder in the death of Timothy Grice back in September. Grice's body was found in his Laclede cab, not far from Forest Park. He had been shot in the head. Earlier this week, 18-year-old Shakur Ellis was charged with second-degree murder in connection to the case. He also faces first-degree robbery charges.
Christopher Dixon pleaded guilty to murder with mental illness. The judge sentenced him to 25 years in prison for the murder of 70-year-old Raymond Burnett.
Burnett was stabbed to death back in Mayfield back in 2014. Local 6's Leah Shields was in court this morning with Burnett's family. She shares their reaction.
Dixon has no words. He shakes his head.
February 25th, 1975. A young girl disappears while delivering Girl Scout cookies to a neighbor. Jerome Barrett had been in prison on 6 charges from 1974 to 2002, but he was free for about a year when Marsha went missing, and he would soon be connected to a handful of crimes. University student Sarah Des Perez is found murdered near the university, which is close to the Green Hills community. February 17, 1975. A Belmont University student is victimized by a sexual predator in Nashville. 23rd, 1975. A 24-year-old woman is attacked on the front porch of her Fairfax Avenue apartment. March 1975. Jerome Barrett is arrested for the rape of the Belmont University student and convicted 1 year later.
Looking for an answer to the simple question of why residents of that city continue to prey on tourists.
An all too familiar story in South Florida.
German tourist Uwe Wilhelm Rockbrand
Was shot and
killed by 2 guys in a van. His pregnant wife, and perhaps the best witness, left shattered by a tragedy she was just being warned about.
Police say the wife had just read a safety pamphlet given out by rental car companies that warns visitors not to stop if they are hit from behind.
Nearly 20 years ago, he served on the jury that convicted and sentenced Nathan Dunlap to death for the murders of 4 people at this Aurora Chuck E. Cheese.
A friend says Megan Stats was a woman full of life and a joy to others. Her life was cut short Saturday night. Stats was working as a cashier inside the Safeco in Philadelphia when she and another man were shot and killed, allegedly by suspect Robert Jackson. Family and friends have had a tough time coming to grips with this sudden loss.
Anything that might connect suspect Alton Coleman to the brutal murder of Marlene Walters and the attack on her husband, Harry. A man who uses people to get what he wants.
He has a way of getting next to people. Very calm and very deadly.
Harry
Harry and Marlene Walters, who are in their 40s, owned this camper for some time. They were trying to sell it. According to neighbors, sometime early this afternoon, a black man and woman had rode up to the house on bicycles. They acted like they wanted to buy the camper. Then, according to neighbors, Mr. Walters drove one or both of the suspects to a bank, possibly to withdraw money. They came back. The suspects then tied up the couple in the basement. Mrs. Walters was murdered, her husband beaten unconscious.